Meet the new 2026 Tesla Model Y, redefining.
Welcome to this explainer. We're jumping right into something pretty incredible today. A meticulous, pixel-by-pixel teardown of the newly redesigned 2026 Tesla Model Y. We are completely putting aside all the rumors and unverified spec sheets floating around out there, and we're relying purely on the visual evidence. You know, sometimes the absolute best insights come from just slowing down and truly observing. By the time we wrap up today, you're going to have a really comprehensive understanding of the new design language speaking through this vehicle's exterior. The premise here is simple. One image, countless details. We're conducting a deep visual investigation of a single static angle to uncover Tesla's new design secrets. We'll start with the macro impression, the overall silhouette, and the vibe it gives off, before we systematically zoom in to analyze the micro details. We're talking aerodynamics, lighting signatures, the structural stance, the whole shebang. It's honestly amazing how much you can learn when you know exactly where to look.
Take a look at the macro view here, the overall silhouette and stance. Just let your eyes guide themselves over the entire shape. It's instantly recognizable as a Model Y, right? But it's undeniably sharpened up. That sleek silver metallic profile beautifully catches the light, really emphasizing the smooth, flowing bodywork. But what truly anchors this whole view is the sweeping, coupe-like dark roofline. The stark contrast between that bright, reflective silver body and the deeply tinted, continuous arc of the roof creates this incredibly streamlined, futuristic look. It's essentially a masterclass in using color and glass to shape the visual weight of the car. Moving into our first focus area, the sweeping aerodynamic profile. When it comes to modern EVs, you guys know that reducing drag is literally the name of the game, and this exterior is absolutely packed with visible aerodynamic features. First, there's that sweeping panoramic gloss roofline we just touched on. Second, perfectly flush door handles. And third, notice those incredibly smooth, creaseless side panels. The designers have deliberately avoided any harsh character lines on the doors. Okay, let's dive into this and look right at the evidence. Notice the flush handles and that continuous glass roof. If you focus your attention right on the middle of the doors, you can plainly see how those handles blend seamlessly into the silver paintwork, which eliminates tiny points of turbulence. And trace your eyes up top. Look at how the dark glass stretches completely from the windshields all the way back to the rear hatch. There is barely a visible interruption in that curve. This isn't just to make the car look cool. It is a highly intentional engineering decision. Slicing through the air effortlessly translates directly to better energy conservation and, of course, a significantly longer driving range. Next up, illuminating the rear. So take a second and visually scan the back of the vehicle. If you had to identify the single biggest aesthetic change, the one element that immediately grabs your attention and completely redefines the car's identity from behind, what would you say it is?
Yeah, you probably spotted it right away. It's right there in brilliant red, that prominent edge-to-edge continuous red LED light bar. This is a massive departure from the traditional separated taillight clusters we're used to seeing. The light bar sits perfectly nestled inside this sharp, dark housing, stretching across the entire width of the tailgate. What this does horizontally is actually trick the eye into seeing the vehicle as wider and more planted than it might actually be. Also, look really closely just above that light bar. You can see a subtle, integrated spoiler lip molded right into the sheet metal of the hatch. It's just a super clean way to manage rear airflow without bolting on some clunky, separate spoiler.
Let's move a bit lower down, grounding the stance.
A vehicle's stance totally dictates its presence on the road. The visible lower body details doing the heavy lifting here include, first, those really large, intricate multi-spoke alloy wheels. Second, we have the darkened lower bumper cladding. And third, those subtly defined wheel arches. Together, these elements give the vehicle a grounded, slightly aggressive, and just highly capable posture. And this brilliantly illustrates the power of contrast in design. Observe the multi-spoke wheel design and that dark lower trim. Look at the sharp dividing line between the highly reflective silver paint and the textured, dark lower bumper elements. This dark clouding isn't random. It serves a very specific visual purpose. It raises the perceived ride height slightly while effectively hiding the visual bulk of the vehicle's lower half. So it makes the painted section look much slimmer and far more athletic. Meanwhile, those premium multi-spoke wheels completely fill out the defined arches, making sure the vehicle looks firmly planted on the pavement and ready to go. All right, let's bring it all together, summarizing the design language. To quickly recap the key visual cues from our explainer today, what we are looking at is very clearly an evolution of an aerodynamic focus. The smooth sides and flush handles prove that efficiency is really dictating the form here. But we also get this bold, modern leap forward with the introduction of that continuous rear lighting, giving the car a completely distinct nighttime signature. And to bridge the familiar with the new, they've brilliantly retained that signature sweeping roofline. Together, these choices make the 2026 Model Y sharper, wider, and unequivocally modern, without losing its core DNA. So we basically extracted every possible detail from this single exterior angle, but it leaves us with an incredibly compelling question. Based on this striking, tech-forward exterior profile, how do you think the interior is going to evolve to match it? Are we going to see those rumored ambient lighting upgrades, a dedicated rear passenger display, or maybe a totally revamped advanced touchscreen? Will the premium seats mirror this streamlined, futuristic aesthetic? It's definitely something to think about. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep your eyes sharp out there.